I am treading water. The surface is relatively calm, but the freezing cold is already seeping into my bones. I take a deep, trembling breath and look down. Beneath me is a terrifying, bottomless, pitch-black void. I cannot see my own feet. I cannot see what is hovering 10 feet below them. The light simply fades into a murky, impenetrable blue, and then into absolute nothingness. Every single muscle in my body suddenly tenses. My heart begins to hammer violently against my ribs. A sickening, overwhelming wave of pure panic floods my brain, screaming a single, desperate command: get out. Get out right now. I am not drowning. I am a perfectly capable swimmer. I am in no immediate physical danger. But the terror I am feeling in this exact moment is not rational. It is deeply, violently biological. If you have ever swam out a little too far into the ocean, looked down into the dark water, and felt that sudden, icy grip of terror in your chest, you know exactly what I am talking about. This is thalassophobia, the intense fear of deep bodies of water. But do not mistake this for a simple phobia or an overactive imagination. Evolution does not waste energy on irrational fears. The panic you feel when you cannot see the bottom is one of the most brilliant, ancient, and necessary survival mechanisms hardwired into your DNA. Today, we are diving into the abyss to uncover the primal, terrifying reason your brain breaks down in deep water. And if you want to survive the darkest secrets of human biology, take a deep breath and hit that subscribe button right now. We decode the evolutionary ghosts haunting your mind every single week, and you will not want to miss the deep dives we take next. To understand why my brain is panicking right now, we have to look at how humans are actually built. We are, at our absolute core, terrestrial apex predators. Every single physical advantage that allowed our ancestors to conquer this planet relies on solid ground and clear air. On land, your vision is spectacular. You can spot a predator moving in the tall grass from hundreds of yards away. Your hearing can pinpoint the exact direction of a snapping twig. You have gravity anchoring you, giving your legs the traction they need to run, dodge, and fight. But the exact moment you step into the ocean and the water goes over your head, every single one of those evolutionary advantages is instantly stripped away. Deep water is a terrifying sensory deprivation chamber. Your vision is reduced to a few murky feet. The physics of water distort sound, making it completely impossible for your brain to determine where a noise is actually coming from. And you lose your physical anchor. You are suspended in a heavy fluid, moving sluggishly, effectively paralyzed compared to the creatures that natively live there. Your brain panics in deep water because it runs a hyperfast calculation and realizes you have been completely disarmed. You are blind, deaf, and incredibly slow in an alien environment. But the sensory deprivation is only the beginning. The real terror, the thing that is making my skin crawl as I tread water right now, comes from the geometry of the ocean. On land, danger almost exclusively comes from a two-dimensional plane. A lion attacks from the left, a wolf attacks from the right, or an enemy charges from the front. Our ancient brains are incredibly good at scanning the horizon. But deep water introduces a horrifying third dimension, the attack from below. For millions of years, the oceans were ruled by massive, hyper-aggressive aquatic predators. While early humans were not swimming with megalodons, we were sharing the water with massive crocodiles, aggressive sharks, and unseen aquatic hunters. In deep water, a predator does not need to approach you on a level playing field. It can perfectly camouflage itself in the dark, crushing depths, look up at your silhouette against the sunlight, and strike vertically. This is the exact reason why your heart drops into your stomach when something brushes against your leg in the ocean. Your brain knows that in a three-dimensional aquatic environment, the ultimate threat comes from the abyss directly beneath you. The panic you feel is your amygdala realizing that your soft, vulnerable underbelly is completely exposed to an environment you cannot monitor. You are the prey, silhouetted against the sky, perfectly presented on a silver platter for anything lurking in the dark. If discovering the brutal truth behind your darkest fears is blowing your mind, prove it by hitting subscribe. Our community is exploring the terrifying survival software encoded in our DNA, and we need you in the tribe before we swim into even deeper waters. Now, let's explore the most fascinating and terrifying biological paradox of deep water. While my conscious brain is screaming in absolute terror right now, my physical body is quietly executing a prehistoric protocol. The moment cold water touches my face, specifically the trigeminal nerves around my nose and eyes, an ancient reflex takes over. It is scientifically called the mammalian dive reflex. Before I even consciously process the cold, my heart rate instantly drops by 10 to 25%. The blood vessels in my arms and legs rapidly constrict, pushing all my oxygen-rich blood into my core to protect my brain, heart, and vital organs. My spleen contracts, releasing a massive reserve of red blood cells into my bloodstream. This reflex is shared by dolphins, whales, and seals. It is the ghost of our mammalian ancestry, a desperate biological attempt to keep us alive, slow down our oxygen consumption, and protect our organs if we are dragged under. But this creates a horrifying psychological conflict. Imagine what is happening inside your nervous system. The logical part of your brain and your primitive fear center are flooding your body with adrenaline, telling you to panic, to thrash, to swim as fast as you can to escape the unseen monsters below. But your autonomic nervous system is slamming on the brakes, slowing your heart rate, and preparing your body for a long, cold suffocation. You are experiencing two entirely different survival programs fighting for control of your body at the exact same time. Adrenaline tells you to fight. The dive reflex tells you to surrender to the deep. This severe internal biological conflict is what makes the panic of deep water feel so uniquely paralyzing and exhausting. And then, there is the final, ultimate fear. The fear of the infinite. Human beings are deeply psychological creatures, and our sanity relies heavily on boundaries. We need walls, we need floors, we need a horizon to anchor our understanding of the world. Deep water removes all boundaries. When you are suspended in the middle of the ocean, you are floating over a void that can be thousands of feet deep. To the human mind, which evolved to understand caves, trees, and solid dirt, a 1,000-foot drop that you can fall into without ever hitting the ground is incomprehensible. Your brain forces you to panic because it perceives the deep ocean as an anomaly of physics. It is a bottomless pit that defies everything your ancestors understood about gravity and survival. You are hovering over an abyss, and your prehistoric mind cannot process how you are not falling. So it hits the emergency alarm. It creates the sensation of sheer dread to force you back to the shallow water, back to the dirt, back to the environment where your biology actually works. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet. It is the cradle of all life on Earth. But we left it. Millions of years ago, our ancestors crawled out of the water, grew lungs, stood on two legs, and claimed the dry earth as our kingdom. We conquered the mountains, the forests, and the plains. But we never conquered the deep. We just learned to float on top of it. So, the next time you find yourself swimming in the ocean, and you drift a little too far from the shore. When the water turns from crystal clear to a murky, impenetrable blue. When you look down and see nothing but the vast, empty darkness reaching down to the center of the earth, and you feel that sudden, violent shock of terror in your chest, do not fight it. Do not feel foolish. That panic is the ancient, roaring voice of human evolution. It is 1,000,000 years of survival instincts telling you that you are an absolute king on land, but in the dark, crushing depths of the deep, you are just prey. Thank you for diving into the abyss with us today. If this journey fundamentally changed how you understand your own mind and the terrifying power of the ocean, hit that subscribe button and leave a like right now. We are uncovering the evolutionary secrets of the human species every single week, and we want you safely on board for the next expedition. Until next time, trust your instincts, respect the water, and whatever you do, don't look down.